I hear about many curious people burning out in software. I assume that mostly due to work environment though, or some other life imbalance. Yeah. So, by the way, yeah, I'm. You can ask me any questions now if anyone's here. I'm just chilling. So like, because we sort of went through all of it. So like, yeah, I mean, the burning out thing in software, it's really because companies suck. A lot of tech companies, you're working on something that kind of doesn't matter. You're working on something that kind of doesn't matter, and not all the time, but I'm saying in general, you're working on stuff that like kind of doesn't matter, and then you're in an environment where if you're curious, you're very useful there, so they need you a lot, and I see a lot of people getting grinded out simply because they're a cog in a machine and they hate it. Especially if you're a curious, creative person, and you're being a cog, it's gonna eat at your soul. It's gonna eat at you. Like I feel like I've had times where like I was like I just need to like leave right now. I've left some pretty high paying situations because I was like I'm gonna die here. I'm not saying do that. That's not advice. I don't want people to think I'm telling you to. But yeah, like quit your job. Quit your job. If you don't like it, yeah, quit it. Like why not? Of course. I feel like it's kind of intuitive to do that, Like I think there is an aspect of no, I mean I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. I don't want people to think that I'm like no, quit your job. If you are a single young man and you hate your job, what are you really doing? Oh, I gotta pay for rent. It's like, do you? Or did you choose to live a life that is too expensive for your means? Like, are you living outside your means? Because for a lifestyle, like you don't want to spend your youth doing things that suck. That makes sense. And any other questions, comments? You asked me about jobs. I'm not going to tell you to do that. I'm probably going to tell you to quit your job, and I get it. Maybe school's another thing where it's like I don't know. I mean, like I didn't do school, so it's like I remember the first day of like because I was like I didn't want to do college, and I was like, okay, I'll do it. And my dad was like, oh, you should try it out because I was like, I'm just gonna because I was already like at internships and stuff in high school, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna like be a full time engineer. I'm gonna start companies and all this. And I remember, and I went though. It was actually a really good experience going for. I went for a year because I made a lot of friends, and I ran a hackathon at the school, and like I had like a lot of good experiences. And the but the thing that there's a moment um in the what's it called when they like onboard the students in the reception or whatever. My brain's a little bad, but like there's a part where they were showing this. Oh man, this was so bad. I remember immediately I was like, oh, I'm just gonna drop out. So like, there was a moment where like there was a they were showing us this video, and it was like on a beach, and the video was like social engineering related. It was like this is like a social situation, and they're showing a bunch of 18-year-olds this, and they're like, okay, there's one guy. It's like a real life, and there's one guy dancing on the beach, and he's dancing really weird, and everyone's looking at that guy, and they're like, "What's that guy doing?" And then the commentator on the video is like, "Oh, here we have like a strange man who's deciding to go dance on this beach. It's very odd." It's like, and then and everyone thinks he's weird, right? But now look at what happens. And then you see another guy come up and he starts dancing. And they're showing this to these 18-year-old college kids. And they're showing that guy starts dancing. And then everyone else, after the second guy started dancing, starts dancing weird like the first guy. And the video's like, you see social movements in life. It's not about the first guy, the leader. It's about the second guy. It's about the guy that validated that idea. And then everyone came along. I'm like, oh, they're training me to be a slave. I was like, oh, that's slave talk. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go. No, the first guy matters. He did it. Like the first guy's the one that did it. It's like, no, it's never the second guy. It's never the second guy. Anyway, all right. Any last questions?